everybody. Welcome back to our podcast. I am Althea Rain,
Mahalo Smythe.
And Yori Inoku.
and we are your hosts for Today Geek. We gotta talk about them already doing a remake.
They're trying to do a reboot announcement for 2025.
So it will have been only 24 years. And I say only, I know that that's not an only thing. There's a lot of
Mind you,
people who
it's
are
a
turning
rumor.
18 who are younger
Yeah.
than that, and it's just a rumor, but we gotta say we hope that this doesn't happen. I do not feel like I am ready for a reboot, a reimagination, a remake of a movie that came out when I was in high school. I
It
don't feel
doesn't
like I'm
really
that
need it.
old yet.
It doesn't really need it. Like, they're trying to recast key roles. According to Game Rant, it says they're trying to recast key roles on Harry Potter franchise to re-energize it for younger audiences.
For modern
Um,
audiences.
mm-hmm,
Let's put it that way.
it's like
It's not a
according
good
to their
thing to
claim.
hear from modern
It
viewership.
doesn't.
You
It
know,
doesn't.
look, I know our social climate has changed a lot, but a lot of movies from ages ago really honestly still hold up today. If you really
Mm-hmm.
allow yourself to not get triggered by some of the older aspects of it. I don't think there's anything wrong with movies that are 20 years old. I don't think there's a need to make them for modern audiences. But on a
Then
deeper
freaking
level, I
create a
want to
new
say
story.
I don't really generally like remakes in general. And it's not just because of, modern audiences or changing the message. I don't really think. Okay, my biggest issue with remakes has always been okay, so are you trying to exactly shot for shot recreate the movie? If yes, then why don't you just have people watch that movie? Take Psycho, for example. There is nothing wrong with the original Psycho. And then they shot for shot remade it with Vince Vaughn
Oh
as the freaking.
no.
It was Vince Vaughn who was Norman Bates.
No
It was
way.
Vince Vaughn. And it
No,
was
I can't.
and it was
I
Anne Heche who played the other character.
oh
Look, if you're going to shot for shot try to remake it, then there's no point in remaking it because the original still holds up. Now,
yes.
if you are going to completely reimagine it to make it something that it's not, then that is not to me a remake either because it is no longer the same kind of content. You might as well make a completely new movie with a completely new protagonist to
Exactly.
tell a completely different story.
But the thing
Rob
is they
Zombie's
want to use
Halloween did not need to exist.
but I think what they want is they want the name Hogwarts. They want those names to be incorporated
Well,
into
that's the
that.
point of why they did. Let's take Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
My absolute favorite movie of all time, above everything else, is the original 1978 Halloween. We talked about this in a previous segment. I share the birthday of Nick Castle, who played Michael Myers.
Oh gosh.
This movie did not need to be remade in any capacity.
No.
Rob
No.
Zombie, when you humanize the guy who's supposedly going around stalking and killing babysitters, when you humanize him and you start rooting for him, it no longer becomes scary. They tried
No,
to
it
do a completely different take on Michael Myers. But anyway, I digress. That's neither here nor there. The whole point is that remakes are rarely ever good because they're either trying to take shot for shot the actual movie or they are trying to make it a completely different movie from what it was. Either way, that's not really what a remake is supposed to be. If you can't do it better than the original, Don't do it. And there's nothing wrong with the original Harry Potter, the first two movies. Granted, granted, I didn't like the third through seventh movies. I never saw four and five and six and seven, but that doesn't mean that I want to see a remake of them all.
We don't need it.
We don't need it.
We truly don't need it because then they're gonna try and change the characters that were created. They're gonna try and change stuff that should not be changed just because of the modern views of whatever. Like, just it doesn't work. And when people say that it works, it just whatever. Like for me, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. So,
But
really, I don't like remakes in general. There have been very few remakes that I've actually enjoyed. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like Ocean's 8, Ghostbusters 2016,
oh yeah, that's true.
because they
That
tried to
exists.
change it by another degree, and it wasn't just as simple as, oh yeah, let's remake it. No, now we have to change it, and things have to be different. And sometimes different isn't always better. Yes,
Mhm.
sometimes we have to change, we have to learn to adapt or we'll die, etc., etc. But that doesn't mean that every change is always for the best forever.
But that's the thing. They just Hollywood needs to create new content.
And that's the
Like,
part that they're failing hardcore on. Hollywood is out of ideas. Hollywood has been out of ideas for a long time. Many of the movies that they've been coming out with over the last couple of decades, they've been doing strictly for the Chinese market or for other foreign markets because that's where a lot of their money is coming from, is the international box office now. So a lot of these movies they're not even making anymore for us.
yeah,
And that's
like,
part of the problem. They're pumping out these movies that have low quality, low budget, and are really poor remakes or reimaginations or whatever, just so that they can put these in foreign films at box offices because those people in those places have never seen it.
mhm.
And and a lot of people nowadays, you'll find that Hollywood has by and large not been doing so hot in the last few years, especially with the you know what that hit us in the last two.
Yeah.
We're finally beginning to increase our box offices, but man alive, I am not impressed with the movies coming out. It's been probably a year and a half, or
Mhm.
at least a year, since I went to the theaters the last time. I have no intentions of going anytime soon. I didn't go see Morbius. I'm not going to see anything else coming out recently
Nah,
because
I don't
none of it
think
is
I'll
worth
be
it for
able
me
to. Mhm.
anymore. And by and large, it comes from a place of a lack of creativity. They are out of ideas. So now that they're out of ideas, they're remaking everything that has probably ever been made. The day that they come out with a Never Ending Story remake, I'm probably just going to say F it
Oh
all.
hell no.
I'm just probably going to say
Hell.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore at that point, and I'm checking
I
out.
mean, unless it is someone that wants to be, like with the use the source material and respect the source material, I don't want anybody touching it. I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
on that note, we don't really want a remake. I don't like remakes. We don't like remakes.
We
Remakes
don't need
generally tend
remakes.
to be very bad. Um and you know, we're not ready for another remake of something, especially if they're trying to boycott. It doesn't make sense that they would be rumoring that there's going to be a remake when people are already boycotting one of the Harry Potter anythings
Games. Yes.
because of controversy with J.K. Rowling. So
Mhm.
it doesn't really make much sense, and I really hope that it's just a rumor and that it doesn't come to fruition. So, on
Uh,
that note, I don't know. But, despite the fact that we have had our qualms with Harry Potter, from fifth book to seventh book, from some of the movies, from the third movie on, and other stuff that came out, I can't completely fault Harry Potter because if it wasn't for Harry Potter, I wouldn't know this amazing person talking with me tonight. And yeah, we would never have 21 years of friendship would never have happened.
and creative
Yes,
well,
it's where I got some of my creativity. It's where I got the ability to learn to write better, to help her speak English better.
yes, you're still helping me. I'm still bad at English.
Yeah, but you were worse at English 20 years ago. Come on.
Oh, Althea, I was. Oh,
You were bad.
I was very, very bad.
And she knows I'm not really being that serious. She was actually
Yeah.
pretty decent in English speaker. I'm just giving her crap, you guys. She knows
Yes.
it. I'm not actually criticizing her. She knows I love her.
No.
She knows I love
Exactly.
her.
That's the thing. Like, I love it when you criticize me.
That's Ah.
Oh
See, we
gosh.
got to give each other crap. We're absolutely sisters at this point, you know.
Oh heck
So,
yeah.
we'll give each other crap as if we were like raised in the same household, okay?
Yes.
But, we love it. Harry Potter is how we got started. Harry Potter is
Mhm.
how we got to be such great friends. And that's why we love to talk about it so much. That's why we love certain characters so much is and we wouldn't have been so if we didn't care so much about the characters, we wouldn't have been so pissed off with how she handled them in later books. We literally formed a friendship based on characters in a fictional world. So
Mhm.
it's not because we don't care that we need to talk about this. It's because we do care that we need to talk about this. And I do plan on playing the game. I just want to wait to make sure it's functional. So I I'm not separating myself from the Harry Potter world just because I don't like certain novels. I don't like certain movies. I don't like certain things she's said or continues to say. I do like those things, and that's why I'm so critical.
Mhm.
So, there you have it.
Thanks for geeking out with us this week.
If you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe.
Stay tuned for our next segment.
Bye.
Bye.